Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Civil Justice Subcommittee for February the 12th, 2025. Madam Clerk, please take the roll. All right, we got a quorum. We'll begin by taking any personal orders. Members, do we have any personal orders? And Representative Travis, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Hello. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate that. Yes, today I would like to welcome my lovely bride of 35 years, Laura Travis. She has her 109th tour today up here. So good to see you, my love.
Members, any other personal orders? We'll begin the first meeting of Civil Justice Sub by the members introducing themselves, and I'll start to my left by Chairman Todd. Would you tell a little bit about yourself and where you're from?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honored to be on your committee again. From Jackson, Tennessee. I represent about 2/3 of Madison County and have lived there the majority of my life. Grew up in Paris, Tennessee, and ended up in Jackson at college and stayed there. So in the erosion control and grassing business for my paying job.
Thank you. And Representative Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I represent part of Knox County, Tennessee. I'm District 18. I live over in South Knoxville. Proud UT graduate. Today's UT's Day on the Hill. Grateful for all the folks that came to visit us today from the Realtors Association, the Bankers Association, and from the University of Tennessee. And glad to be serving with you guys. Thank you.
Glad to have you. Representative Stennett.
Thank you, Chairman. Tom Stennett from Maryville, Tennessee, half of Blount County. And I'm a freshman, my first time around. So I'm excited about being on this committee.
The best committee in town. Representative Johnson.
Hi, Representative Johnson from Knoxville, a district that goes from just north of downtown all the way west to Cedar Bluff Road. Excited to be here.
Excited to have you. Representative Travis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ron Travis, husband of Laura, as we've met. Anyway, I serve District 31, which is Ray County, Sequatchie County, Bledsoe County, and Van Buren County. This is my 13th year on the Hill, and this is first time in judicial, so I'm loving it.
It's great to have you. And we got the probably the best chairman in town here, and that's Chairman Farmer. I've grown to get a lot of respect for Chairman Farmer. Appreciate the job you do. Would you introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Always a pleasure to serve on your committee. Happy to be here. My name is Andrew Farmer. I represent portions of Sevier and Jefferson Counties, House District 17. Looking forward to getting to work.
Thank you. And I'm Representative Lowell Russell. I'm the chairman of the Civil Justice Subcommittee. I serve in the 21st District, which is half of Loudoun County and half of Monroe County. And I'm pretty sure it's probably the best district in the state of Tennessee. So, and we also have some people that are assisting us here today, and that's my assistant, Lynn Gentry, our research analysis, Jackson Stubblefield, our committee attorneys, Michelle Fogarty and Heather Azabel, our sergeant at arms, Terry Van Trace. And I can't see that far. Would you like to stand up and introduce yourself? Mr. Grimes, good to have you. And our clerk, Ashley Risen. Thank you. So just briefly to go over the committee procedures that were emailed to everyone yesterday. Bills must be put on notice by 3:30 p.m. on Wednesdays before the next scheduled meeting. Committee amendments, the deadlines for amendments are Tuesdays before 10 a.m. Any verbal amendments and late filed amendments will not be considered at this time. Witness cards has to be submitted 24 hours in advance prior to the meeting, and papers will not be distributed. The next thing on my agenda is the rules, and those was emailed out also. Any questions on the committee rules? Seeing no questions, that brings us to our calendar. Without objection, item number 2, House Bill 571 by Representative Barrett will be taken off notice. That brings us to item number 1, House Bill 4 by Representative Bolzo. We got a motion and a second. Representative Bolzo, you're recognized. And do you have any amendments?
No, Mr. Chairman, I do not.
You're free to tell us about your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, members of the committee. This is a bill that seeks to increase the insurance coverage available under the Governmental Tort Liability Act. And let me just first provide a little context. In 1973, this body passed this statute called the Governmental Tort Liability Act. Prior to 1973, political subdivisions of the state of Tennessee enjoyed this concept called sovereign immunity, where citizens were not allowed to sue, that is, bring a legal action against a political subdivision of the state of Tennessee, even if they were harmed in some way or their property was harmed in some way. Well, in 1973, this body created an exception to that immunity. It waived the immunity that typically would apply to the extent that the political subdivision obtained insurance coverage. And most of our local governments across the state obtain insurance coverage either through self-insurance, through a special fund, through commercial insurance, or through pooling arrangements. And so from 1973 to the present, citizens who have been harmed or their property has been harmed have been able to recover damages against political subdivisions to the extent of the insurance coverage. It started out at $40,000 for injuries to the person in 1973. But over time, it grew to $300,000 in 2007. We've now been about 18 years without there being any further increase in the insurance coverage under the Governmental Tort Liability Act, which is actually longer of a delay in increasing the coverage than has been in place since the statute was adopted all the way back in 1973. And I've had a chance to speak with stakeholders on both sides of this issue, and it does appear that there is a general consensus that it is time to increase the insurance coverage to make sure that we adequately provide for the needs of Tennesseans across the state. And so with the chairman's permission and with the committee's permission, I'd like to roll this bill for 2 weeks to give us an opportunity to reach perhaps an agreement among the various stakeholders and return with further information in 2 weeks.
Very good. Do I see any questions, or everybody good with rolling it? Without objection, House Bill number 4 will be rolled 2 weeks. Thank you. All right, I don't show any other business. Do we have any other things to the committee? Without objection, we'll be adjourned.